Hello again, beautiful beings of light. I'm just going to lower this a little bit. Okay, that's better. I hope all of you are doing super well on this beautiful Monday. I don't know where you guys are from, and if you want to let me know, definitely comment below. But it is a sunny 25 degrees and super gorgeous here in Los Angeles. Thank you all for being with me. Thank you so much for the previous videos and the support that you have given me. Yeah, it's just been astounding and super incredible. So today we're talking all about your soul purpose, and this is key. I mean, I get this question asked to me multiple times, all the time, is what am I doing here? What's my purpose? So I do want to mention right away that I have another video out there that's called Discover Your Soul Mission. And there is a big difference between your soul purpose and your soul mission. So I posted that soul mission video to my community section. Definitely take a look. And you know what? I'm also going to post it in the description box below as well. So it's a really quick link. If you haven't seen that video, and I know a lot of you haven't, it is definitely a really good one. Like, I literally list out all of the different types of soul missions you can have. It's incredible. That's going to give you a fuller perspective on what you're doing here on this planet. Today, I'm going to talk about your soul purpose, right? Which is different than your mission, just ever so slightly. They all kind of congeal into one existence right here, right now. But yeah, we're going to go over the interpretations of a soul purpose. And then I'm also, and I just channeled this right before I came on, but I'm also going to talk about the different levels of existing in purpose. And I actually basically broke them down into the 3 different dimensions: 3rd dimension, 4th dimension, 5th dimension. So we're going to talk about that as well. And yeah, and then the only other announcement that I have before we deep dive is, if you enjoy my content and you want even more content, then I highly recommend checking out my YouTube membership page. We've had members now who have been here for 6 months, I think. Definitely Cece, I know for sure, has been here for 6 months. And we've got Jasmine, who's a brand new member. So thank you to my previous members. And like I said, if you want to deep dive, tons of videos, tons of content never before released. So check that out. And it's a really good support system for me as well. And at a certain point in time, and I have a number in mind where I will not have any more ads on any videos because of the membership page. So I'm really kind of getting to that level where I really don't want that interpretation. But that's also why I don't do affiliates and sponsorships and BS like that. You know, I really want to have that freedom in my brand. Okay, so I always like setting an intention, especially in the past, 3 or 4 months. Every video has had a very specific intention on what I want to give you today. This is a gift, right? And I see a lot of you are giving me gifts right now with your super chat. So thank you so much, Dee, Sharma, Sherry. You guys are great supporters. Thank you. And of course, if you guys resonate with the content, super chats are always super appreciated. So today's intention, the gift that I want to give you, I actually have 2 gifts. I have 2 intentions for all of you today. The first one is relax. You're exactly where you need to be. Just by asking the question of what is my soul purpose, you are implying that you don't already know. And that would be a lie. Because deep down, you are just this impermanent human being right now. But you're a soul. That's who you are. And your soul knows exactly what your soul purpose is. I'm just helping you remember. So the first intention for today is that I hope after this video, you allow yourself to relax a little bit more so that you'd stop have to chase after something that you think that you need when you already have it. right? So I want all of you just to kind of walk away from today feeling a lot more relaxed and aligned to the present moment. The second intention that I have for all of you today as well is I want to help to give you a direction. I want to help all of you remember what it is that you're doing here so that you can actually feel a little bit more relaxed. And this is definitely a video that I highly recommend having a notebook out for. And of course, you can always watch the replay and write a ton of notes as well. So let's just kind of dive into it. The first thing that I want to talk about with your soul purpose is the different interpretations of the soul purpose. Basically, I have come up with 2 different interpretations for your soul purpose. The first one, and if you've ever been in a group session, then you'll know that I have to ask, if someone's like, what am I doing here? What's my purpose? And I'm like, well, do you want to know your soul's purpose or do you want to know your human purpose? Are you interested in your career as a 3rd dimensional human being? Or are you interested in what's the whole purpose and specifics on why your soul is on this planet in the first place? So really, they're just 2 different layers of understanding your purpose here on this planet. But you need to understand that there are 2 different layers and probably many, many more layers than just 2. So the first interpretation of your purpose is what your soul came here to do on this planet in general. And first of all, when I say what your soul came here to do, it's essentially what your soul volunteered here to do. Because it's important for all of us to realize that we're the only ones who chose to be on this planet right here, right now. So the first kind of interpretation of purpose, I'm going to kind of bring broader, and then we're going to go bring to the individual perspective. So what your soul volunteered here to do, the first thing I want to mention is, 2 things. So every soul coming to this planet, volunteering to be here on this planet, has 2 different kind of energies that we signed up for. Let's call it that. 2 different things in our soul contracts that we signed up for upon coming to this planet. Of course, I know this information because I go to people's contracts on a daily basis of understanding what did you sign up for. And so there's 2 things that you will always sign up for. One is, what did you come to planet Earth and volunteer here to give? Why are you here? And what are you here to give humanity, right? So that's one half of our soul purpose on this planet. The second half of our soul purpose on this planet is, what did you come here to receive, right? So we do live in a binary universe, not just a binary world. And you came to this planet not just to give, but also to receive as well. And let's see if I can expand on that. So typically what you came here to give is, like, I call it a superpower or a niche, something that really lights you up, something that really excites your soul. So you came here to give the planet peace or love. I mean, these are all just general concepts. Or maybe you're here to be a pillar and hold space. Maybe you came here to be a teacher. Maybe you came here to be a warrior, right? There's a reason why you came to this planet and something that you're going to give planet Earth. That's a bit of your own superpower, your niche, your specific soul frequency, right? Is what you came here to do for planet Earth. The funniest thing is that what you came here to learn, which is what you came here to receive, right? So we have to realize that learning lessons are always through challenges. Learning lessons are not easy, but that's what we receive. We receive the lesson that we're learning in order to grow and move forward. Now, of course, when you're incarnated over and over and over again on this planet, there are many lessons that our soul learns here in the limited 3rd dimension. But there's one overarching lesson always that is going to permeate into every single lifetime, if that makes sense. And once again, what you came here to give, your superpower, is actually mirrored by your greatest lesson, which is really interesting. And thank you, Natalia, for that beautiful super chat. So I'll give you a couple of examples of your soul contracts, basically your soul purpose here on this planet and what you came here to give versus what you came here to learn. Like I said, they're always in tandem. They're always the same in a very odd way. Okay, so my greatest lesson, so I kind of thought this to myself of like, what did I come here to give and what did I come here to learn, you know? And the thing that I came here to give is to help humanity with the balance between worlds, right? And that really, it's pretty general, but it encompasses pretty much my mission in every lifetime on this planet. Is to help people understand that they can be just as human, just as much as they can be cosmic or non-human or interdimensional or what have you. So the balance between worlds is my greatest strength. It's my greatest superpower, right? And to sum it up in like 3 words. So that's what I came here to give. And thank you, Miria. That's beautiful. And so what I came here to receive is the same lesson that I am giving humanity. I am learning the balance between worlds, and it is tough, right? So it's kind of ironic, and trust me, I mean, this is just one example within many. Your greatest resistance, your greatest challenge, your greatest strife on this planet is always going to be what you came here to give. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. We're going to talk about the different levels of playing out your soul purpose. And this is all going to make a lot more sense to you. Here are a couple of other soul purpose lessons and gifts that we are here to give and receive. Grief and grieving, right? Understanding that the death is not the end. And wow, thank you so much, Samantha. That's a really beautiful super chat. I really appreciate that. So grief and grieving is another lesson that I really find a lot of clients, a lot of human beings really struggle with, is this concept. And typically in many lifetimes, these individuals will experience death in a variety of different ways, whether it be their pets or their family members or their friends or their, partners. Over and over and over again, they will experience this lesson of death and grief and grieving. And once they experience it, and once they learn the lessons after a lifetime after lifetime after lifetime of that being their sole purpose, they can then go ahead and teach the lesson of grief and grieving. They can then go ahead, teach others that, hey, I understand what you're going through, and I can help you with that because I've been there too, right? So once again, we need to realize that our greatest purpose is typically the thing that repeats itself over and over and over again, that always typically tends to be that thorn in our side. That's your greatest strength. That's what you came here for. And literally, I mean, that's pretty much it. Mic drop, walk away. Like, that's the information, right? So, so be aware of that. Same thing with empowerment, right? So maybe your greatest challenge on this planet, your greatest lesson, your greatest gift in coming here is learning the lesson of empowerment. And, you spend lifetimes upon lifetimes disempowering yourself, giving your power away to your boss or your partner or, the men on the TV or whatever. And that's really difficult for you. And then eventually you get it and you become a master at teaching empowerment for others. And once again, this is over lifetimes of learning these lessons, not just one life. And I just want to say too, because the information just popped into my mind, and I don't know if one of you were maybe like questioning this, but the information of but what about the souls who took the cosmic retirement or who have never been here and they just pop in? How do they find their purpose? And these souls are very few and far between who come to this planet who have never been here before. Typically, we need a lot of study and a lot of learning and a lot of challenge in being here on this planet to then finally step into our purpose to say, this is what I'm here for. So once again, it's much more rare to have a soul that has never been here before that's stepping into here and is going to be some sort of, full of purpose individual. So I tend to find that those cosmic souls that just come here for the first time tend to be a little bit lost in their direction, because they're like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Like, I have no idea. I don't even know how to cook food, let alone get a job and integrate in society. So that can be very difficult. Or these cosmic souls, very new to this planet, but they're bringing in cosmic purposes. So their cosmic purposes, I'm going to teach about quantum physics in the way that I knew it back as a Zeta, tall gray being, right? So yeah, so once again, those souls are few and far between, but hopefully that answers whoever had that question. But it was a good question. So funny, like I could literally just do a Q&A with all of your thoughts. Like that'd be so weird, right? Or not really. That would be like a 5D Q&A. Maybe I should try that one time. Just think your thoughts and I'll pick up on them. That would be kind of maybe a little bit too much. Maybe a little bit crazy in my own mind. Okay. So once again, your greatest struggles are always, always, always your greatest gifts. Okay, so the second interpretation of your purpose, of your soul purpose, is what your human wants to do in this life, right? Your life mission. And like I said, check out the life mission video that I just posted to the community page, obviously after watching this video. And then I'll also post it in the description below as well, so you can see that. So one interpretation of purpose is, what is my soul purpose? What am I here to do as a soul? What's going to fulfill me the most as a soul? It's kind of more general, kind of a little bit greater, but it permeates through every single incarnation. And then of course, the second is a little bit more limited and linear, but also it's on all of your minds, which is, what am I supposed to do here as a human being that's going to fulfill me, right? So typically what your soul mission is as a human being, thank you guys for those super chats, what your soul mission is as a human being in this lifetime is always going to be under the theme of serving humanity. That's what's going to fulfill you the most. Of course, if you found my channel, if you're here right now, you're a teacher, you volunteered to be here. You're a cosmic soul. That's why you found me. You wouldn't be anything other than that, if you were here. So typically the theme is always going to be in service to humanity. And then all of us empaths get wrapped up in, oh, I know I'm here to serve humanity. I know I'm here to give. So I'm just going to give to everyone until I figure it out. And then you end up draining your own life force energy and you've got nothing left for yourself because you've given and given and given, and you've lost that element of, well, who am I? Oh, I guess I'm just someone who's in service to others. And that can be very limiting as well. So we have to be very careful about the service to others label and the element of that. But once you find that clear direction, the service to others is like, wow, I can service humanity and be an environmentalist, or I can service humanity and do this one thing. And therefore you stop oversaturating yourself by giving to everyone and their mother, and you start giving that is in a way that is fully attuned and fully aligned to your harmonic resonance. And that's what we all want. We all want to wake up every day and say, yes, I'm exactly where I need to be. Yes. Okay, cool. And I actually wanted to start with something. So I'm kind of thinking, should I go back? Yeah. Let me just finish the interpretation of what your human wants. And then I'm going to go back to this really key point that I wrote down at the beginning. Okay, so yeah. So I want to also let you know too, that it is like 1,000% okay to have just a whatever job. And that's what I call it. I call it just a whatever job. It's okay to be a mailman. It's okay to pack groceries at a grocery store. It's okay to be a waitress and still feel fulfilled and still feel purpose-driven. Because maybe on the side, you're an artist who loves to paint. Maybe on the side, you volunteer to work with children, So just be aware that your grand soul purpose as a human being doesn't necessarily have to be spiritual, right? But like I said, most likely what's gonna be most fulfilling for your soul is something that is in service to humanity. But there's many different things that you can do. Maybe in a past lifetime, you were an artist and all of your artwork got burned because it wasn't confined or contained within the limitations of what was acceptable at that time. And so in this lifetime, it really fulfills you to do art and have your expression and your creative freedom. So just kind of being aware, being very open. Like, once again, it is so okay to have just a whatever job. It's so okay to have a 9 to 5, right? That is complete. We still need the garbage men of the world. We still need the botanists and the doctors and the lawyers. We still need all of these people. But we also need you to start living your best life. And that actually leads me to this point that I missed at the beginning, which is, deep down, all of you ask yourself this question all the time. What is my purpose? What am I here for? Because essentially you're searching for something. That's probably what led you to this channel, is you're searching for something. And the easiest thing to search for is the meaning of life. What are we doing here? What's the purpose of this? What is the meaning of life? And then you do some inner digging, inner searching, and you start to realize that the grand meaning of all life in the universe is to just be in the present moment and to soak it all in for what it is, which is everything and nothing simultaneously. But the problem is that that's not satisfying enough for us. We are all so deeply in the realm of self-sabotage. We are so deeply entrenched and brainwashed to believe that we have to work hard to achieve anything in life. So to ask this grandiose question, which is, what is the purpose? And to actually end up receiving the response, the truth, which is just be, it's not enough for us. So then we're like, okay. There's got to be a greater purpose to my life. There's got to be a greater purpose for me. And then we continue to search. And even if the answer was right in your face, you're still going to sabotage and convince yourself that you're not working hard enough for it, that you're not sacrificing enough for it. I will tell you that your soul purpose has always been right in front of your face, but you've refused to look at it. Once again, your greatest purpose, your greatest mission on this planet as you, as a human being, is whatever your greatest struggle is. And we're always looking for this other thing. We're always searching for something else. Because of that sabotage, because of that sacrifice, because of the suffering, because of the survival mentality that we all have. It's way easier than that, I have to tell you. It's kind of boring though, right? It's a lot easier than what you've been making it out to be. And that's really important to understand. And I also think that a reason why we all want to know what that purpose is because we want to find our place in the world. Ultimately, you're searching and you're searching and you're searching. You're like, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work, that doesn't work. So then where do I belong? Where do I go from here? And it feels awkward and uncomfortable to feel that way. So we think that finding our soul purpose is it. That is the thing. That is the missing piece of the puzzle that is going to complete your awkward feeling of being here on this planet. And I am so sorry to burst your illusionary bubble to say that understanding your soul purpose is not going to suppress the craving for knowledge and information and truth. I see people every day, it's funny, disempowering themselves, wanting to know their soul purpose, And then once they have it, it's like, oh yeah, I already knew that. It's very unsatisfying because we think that that is what we're looking for, and it's not. And I'll tell you right now that what you're really looking for is a place within the confines of your reality where you feel balanced between your soul and your human. And deep down, there's a longing for you to figure out your soul purpose so that you feel that much closer to that harmony, that much more comfortable with just being here on this planet. You don't need to have a job within the spiritual realm in order to feel that harmony. And I promise you that if you make a decision that is limiting or linear and goes beyond and just focuses on that one thing of like, you know what, I'm going to be a Reiki practitioner. It's better than being an accountant. If you jump into that, you're limiting yourself. And it's going to be maybe a year, maybe a month, but eventually you're still going to have that urge, that void, that craving, that gap. And you're going to look for something else to fill it. The more time that you can feel comfortable and confident just being in the present moment as a human, but as a soul, without a craving or a need for anything, that's when you're going to feel eternally satisfied. You could have all the money or no money, and you would be satisfied and fulfilled. You could have all the kids or no kids and feel eternally satisfied and fulfilled. You could have all the spiritual knowledge or no spiritual knowledge, and you would be eternally satisfied and fulfilled. So I will help you on your path and give you some pointers and steps and information on your soul purpose. But I also want to let all of you know that that is not what you're looking for. It's not. There's going to be a slight disappointment once you realize, oh, okay, well, that's nice. It's good. It's good to do something on the daily that aligns your soul with your human. And you can find that in a hobby. You can find that in a best friend. You can find that in a painting. You can find that in your work. But it doesn't just always have to be profession and career, right? As long as you're balancing it out. Well, I do this to make money, and then I have a charity on the side. Or then I get a group of people together every Monday, and it's amazing, right? So just don't put all your eggs in one basket and think that discovering this is going to be the thing that you're longing for. Because in my experience, it's not the only thing. And it's still very limited to just this incarnation. Why not experience and explore all that is? Not just that is right now. So, sorry, not sorry about that, but that needed to be said. Okay, so let's talk about the different levels of existing in purpose. And then I'm going to talk about how to actually harmonize your soul purpose with your life mission, how to harmonize the two different interpretations of the soul, the vibration of the soul, and also the impermanent needs and wants of the human. Okay, so this is really interesting. The different levels of existing in purpose. I have actually never thought about it this way, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is also brand new for all of you, but also not brand new because I'm just reminding you of what you already know. So different levels. There's 3 different levels of existing in your soul purpose, and I want you all to think about when I'm describing these, to think about what level am I? And then I want you to comment below what level you think you are. And you can always flip-flop between the levels, and that's totally okay too. Okay, the first level of existing in your soul purpose. And what I mean by that is, are you aligned to exactly what you came here to do? Are you doing your soul purpose? Okay, so the first level is you're in it. That's the level. That's what I call it. You're in it. It's the in it level. And when you're in it with your soul purpose, it means that all you're doing is learning the lessons. If your soul purpose is grief and grieving, the first lesson of understanding your soul purpose is being in it, is living it, is experiencing grief and grieving. It's your soul purpose. You have to go to school before you can teach, right? So the first level of your soul purpose is you're in it. You're learning the lessons, and that typically has a lot of challenge and so much repetition. Man, why do I keep attracting the same guy? Man, why do I keep attracting the same challenge, you know? And we are in it for many lifetimes, many lifetimes. We're freaking in it and it sucks, you know, and all you want to do is get out of it. And we don't really appreciate enough when we are in it that it is beautiful to be in it in that moment. Okay, so it's the learning level, the lesson level, the challenges, the repetition, the many lifetimes. Okay, and that's pretty much 3D, right? The first level of existing in purpose is basically the third dimension level. The second level of existing in your purpose is also 4D, right? So now we're moving up. And that is the level of doing it. First level is you're in it. You're in training, you're learning the lessons, you're repeating the challenges. Second level is you're doing it. You are, yes, this is the teaching level. You're living with purpose. Great. I learned all my lessons from many lifetimes, and now that I've understood that death is actually an illusion, now I can teach it, right? And you're doing it, which is amazing. So this is the teaching level, right? So, and of course, as a teacher, you're also a student. As you're teaching it, you're also learning it as well simultaneously, just at a deeper level. And then the third level of existing in purpose is the 5D level, which is you're above it. You're just above your purpose. You're like, yeah, I know that's why I came to planet Earth. Yeah, I could teach it, but I'm just here. This is good. I don't need to teach it. I'm just chilling. You know, that's totally okay. Totally okay to be above it. And really, when you're in this stage of understanding and see it all for what it is, you have the choice to learn it again, to teach it, or to do neither, or to do both simultaneously. You're above the purpose altogether, and you get it, you've mastered it, you no longer really need it, and you're above even teaching it, so you're just observing all of it. Now, I will say that the hardest levels in your soul purpose and your mission on your soul purpose are the levels 1 and 3, right? The third dimension and the fifth dimension. And the reason why is because level 1 within your soul purpose is it feels like you have no choice and you're in direction, right? So it feels like you have no choice and you're always in the same direction. Why do I keep repeating the same lessons over and over and over again? And so it feels very limiting because it's like, well, I have no choice in the matter, right? This is, of course, this is what I have to deal with. And when you're living in soul purpose level 1, it's like life is happening to you. It's like there's a lot of shit that you got to do before you're able to like rise above it and say, oh, wow, that was a struggle, but now I can teach it, right? And this is over many incarnations, like I was mentioning. So that's why number 1 is a very difficult place to be in. Of course, we've all dabbled in that space. If not, we've all been through that space for many different lessons, many different incarnations. But also we need to understand that level 3 is also going to be the most difficult, right? The 5D level of you're above it. The reason why the third level is also very difficult is because it gives you all choice and all direction. Cool. You could do everything, anything, or nothing at all. You could go this way, this way, this way, or this way. And then you're sitting there and you're like, man, there's a lot of choices. don't think I want to choose any of them, and you kind of get stuck in this realm of apathy where you're just in between all of the choices and you don't have a clear direction. When you are struggling to learn a lesson, you don't really perceive yourself as having a choice into the direction that you want to go. You don't have that freedom. But when you get above it all, you have all the choice, which is also can be very kind of stagnant and feeling of being stuck, in that moment of having all the choice whatsoever. And now you have the free will to choose what direction you want to go in. And that can kind of, keep us in the present moment as well. So just kind of being aware of that. Okay, so final thing that I want to get to is how to harmonize your soul purpose and your life mission. So these are just a couple of steps that I highly, highly recommend that you follow and you take. I recommend it. You don't have to do it as long as it resonates with you. Okay, so the first step in, really harmonizing your soul purpose to your present moment is listen to your reality. And you could listen to yourself and your own inner thoughts, but it's beyond that. It's more than that. Listen to your reality. What people are you attracting? What scenarios are you attracting? What challenges are you attracting? What emotions are you attracting? Listen to your reality. If you want to figure out what direction is for you in the next moment, you have to start listening, because the universe, being you, is always giving you that direction. You just have to listen up. Step number 2 is, and this is no surprise, but it's follow your highest excitement. Okay, it's really, really important. And it could be, the thing is, a lot of you are like, but I follow my highest excitement and I end up eating a whole chocolate bar, right? And so it does take a little while to discern between your human's highest excitement, which could be pretty limited in 3D, or discern between your consciousness highest excitement, which is true, authentic alignment, harmonic resonance with the choices that are in front of you, right? So it's going to take a little while to discern, but I'm actually specifically talking about the highest excitement with your consciousness authentically, right? So listen to your highest excitement. Now, right away, if you're like, okay, I'm listening, where do I go? What's my soul purpose? What's my career? What's my mission? Where do I go? If you're not listening to your highest excitement in the smallest of ways, you will not be able to listen to your highest excitement of some of the most grandiose and big decisions that you'll ever have to make. If you're not listening to your body when it tells you, I really need an avocado today, then how can you listen to your reality when it's saying, oh, you should probably move to a different country or a different state or a different house or whatever? We need to really listen to our reality in the smallest of ways and listen to our consciousness in the smallest of ways in order to get to these bigger moments of listening to our greater reality to understand what the bigger steps are. If you're disharmonic in all of the little things in your entire reality, then you won't be able to fully harmonize with the bigger things like a career or purpose or romantic relationship or what have you. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, next step is trust. Oh my goodness, what a big step. So you're listening to your highest excitement. You're like, really? Like, quit my job? I don't know. Really? Have a divorce with my husband? I don't know. Right? And so if you don't trust the messages, especially when they get repeated over and over again, then you're never going to be able to live your soul's purpose. You're just never going to be able to get there. You have to trust what you are actually receiving. Trust your highest excitement. Trust the messages that your reality is giving you. Okay, and the last step in really aligning and harmonizing to your soul's purpose is to take action. So really being aware of, okay, great, so in order to live my best life, in order to follow my soul's purpose, I have to blank, quit my job or whatever it may be, or change my diet or exercise more or whatever, right? In order to do that. So you can't just have the information and sit on it. You have to take action on it. You have to start actually, what's the next step involved in this, right? And that's really important. So once again, the steps again, let's just go the different levels of existing in your soul purpose. You're in it, you're learning it, you're doing it, you're teaching it, or you're above it and you're kind of aloof and you're just choosing and you're just kind of floating around, right? Once again, you can be living your soul's purpose and be a garbage man or a truck driver and be super freaking aligned to why you came here. So be aware that your soul's purpose has nothing to do with your career. Nothing to do with your career. Awesome. Okay. Okay. And then how to harmonize with your soul purpose. Step number 1, listen to your reality. Lots of good info coming out from your reality. 2, follow your highest excitement. Super important, and conscious excitement. And then 3 is trust in what you're receiving, trust in your highest excitement. And 4 is take the necessary action steps that you need to get there. Thank you all so much once again for listening to another epic video. I love all of you so much. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up button if this video resonated with you. And and check out my membership program as well. Tons of new videos coming out at you every single week. Bye for now.